Hey, what's going on? My name is Sean Sebastian. I'm on the RevOps team here at Point of Rental Software. And today we are joined by the great Charles Owen, coming to us all the way from Paladin Data Corporation. How you doing today, Charles?
Doing really good, thanks. Appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you so much for joining. Um, so Charles is going to be going over how you can use the integration between Paladin and Point of Rental Solutions to really take control of your business. Just a really brief background on Charles. His diverse background actually covers management of sales, marketing, products, and also customer service. I didn't know this, but he actually worked in, is it true? You worked in Silicon Valley for like 20 years?
Or more, yeah, but I'm not going to tell you all my secrets.
That's fair. And then before moving to Central Oregon, where you joined Paladin 12 years ago, how is the weather right now in Central Oregon?
It is a beautiful day here. Slight overcast. It should be raining tonight and snowing by about, they say about 11 o'clock tonight. So first snow of the season.
First snow of the season. That's amazing. Well, Charles is the Chief Experience Officer, and his team is responsible for supporting various assets at Paladin, including client services, marketing, and sales. So before we jump into the presentation, this is live actually, and so you are free to ask any question you want of Charles. I'm going to be fielding those questions and be feeding that back to Charles after the presentation is done. But feel free to go ahead and start asking questions now if you have any kind of question at this time. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and hand the reins to Charles.
Thank you, Sean. I appreciate it. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Today, we're going to be going over, as Sean had mentioned, the Paladin and point of rental integration, kind of who we are, what we do, why we're here, why we exist, what our purpose is. And then I'll get into some of the discussion of what is involved in the integration between point of rental and Paladin point of sale. So we'll just jump into this. We'll jump into slide one here. Very high level slides, but I'll try to do my best to articulate all the information that I think you need to know. And if you have additional questions, like Sean said, just go ahead and push that out to him. So we target specific independent markets, and those are hardware stores, lumber building materials, and pharmacy, believe it or not. Those are our strengths. And our value added is that we provide over 100 integrations, and those integrations include wholesalers, suppliers. So if you have a particular brand and you're ordering product, we can send orders electronically through EDI, or electronic data interchange. And then we can also receive the invoices from them electronically as well. And that's a tremendous benefit that I'm sure if you have a product today that provides that integration, you know what kind of advantage that brings to you. We also have other integrations with financial packages, surveillance cameras, systems, social media, firearms packages, and of course, our point of rental integration. And what we really believe in is offering our clients the best of breed products in order to accomplish the goals and run their stores as efficiently as possible. So next slide here. It's easy. It's simple to learn. Everybody says that. But honestly, when we do presentations, not only to prospects, but also at seminars and things, we have a lot of customers that make a comment, hey, it seems really intuitive, easy to follow. And then we have our customers that say things like, hey, we can train our cashiers in 10 minutes how to use your system front to back at checkout. Now, that's pretty amazing. I don't always believe those testimonials, but I've actually witnessed this happen in the store before, where a new employee came in, they saw the system for the first time, and in shock and horror said, oh my gosh, a new point of sale system? It's like, really? Nobody told you? Come over here, train them for 10 minutes, and next thing you know, they're processing people through the line and get them right through the store. So that's it's really helpful in that regard. It is a Microsoft technology, but we kind of hide all the pop-up boxes and small little gray on black text and things like that because it's not that intuitive, and it's also very hard to see especially if you're somebody my age who has to grab your specs all the time just to see the screen. Paladin, we believe in bold, contrast, large letters and things, so you can very easily maneuver around the system. All right, so automate your inventory. So that's one of our key strengths in Paladin is we have a system called market-driven inventory management. What does that mean? Well, what it means is that we do and use and design analytical processes or dynamic algorithms, if you will, that make predictions on forecasting the amount of inventory that you need. That's based on, not on a set reorder point and not set on a fixed maximum order quantity, but it's more of a dynamic number that uses all different types of inputs within the system, including package size, minimum order size, how many they sell at a time on the average, how many are stock on hand, how many are on order, what's sold in the last year, week, month, all of that is calculated. And then we spit out a nice little analytical prediction as to what we think you need. And this means that you don't have to do any work to set up your inventory. If you're using inventory systems and you're used to the min-max theories, we kind of throw those out the window because when you have, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 or more products, how arduous is it to go in there and set these levels to tweak it? And we have some cases where we have competitors where people have been doing this for years in their system and it's still not perfect. So we use these dynamic algorithms to manage the actual market-driven or market forecast based on what the actual demand is from your supplier. Gives you two things, right? If you've done inventory control, you know the challenges, right? Two big challenges. Everybody knows this, right? You either order too much or you order too little. You order too much, what's the problem? You've got investment in items that you can't sell. And just like stocks, it's just like buying stocks and then them plummeting and hitting the ground and you can't sell them. Well, that's what happens when you're buying what we call non-performing assets. The other side of that spectrum is, hey, you're not ordering enough. Well, why not? Well, because I don't feel like it's going to sell or whatever it might be. Well, the problem with that is once you run out of product, you've lost the customer. I think, you and I and everybody as a consumer have gone into stores, got our list in front of us, walk over to the shelf and there's a hole in the shelf. What do? Well, usually you just leave your cart and walk out because who wants to wait in line twice? So these are the types of challenges that we can help you with through these dynamic algorithms. And the ultimate goal is to have your optimal stocking supply. You want to take that investment on your shelf, put it back in your pocket, invest it back into your store in a new line, in a vacation, whatever you want. And then on the flip side of that, you want your customers to feel confident that they can come into your store and they're going to find the product on the shelf. Very frustrating. It happens to all of us. So it's a great solution. And I'll just move to the next slide here. So mobile it's everything right now, right? Especially with COVID. We need to do curbside pickup. We need mobile capabilities so we can take our mobile device outside the store or down the aisle or wherever to do processing. Well, we have a number of mobile capabilities. One of those is you can see how your store is performing on your cell phone from anywhere in the world. So let's say you're in Italy on vacation and you're sitting down to dinner and it's like, is it turtle soup or filet mignon tonight? Well, let's look, how did we do in the store today? You can see that instantly. And it uses the cloud to connect to the information in your store and renders that right there at your table in Italy. Other things, when you're at a trade show or a market of some sort and somebody's forcing you into buying something, you say, hold on, let me see how many I have in stock. How much did we pay for? How much does the system think we need over the next 6 weeks or a year? That information is right there, easily available to you. We have mobile checkout device as well. This device is like taking your point of sale terminal and going anywhere and selling from that little terminal or little remote mobile device. So this is really cool because you can literally pack up the stuff in the back of your trunk of your car or put it in your truck, drive to the swap meet or flea market, whatever you call it from your geographical area, and garage sale, doesn't really matter. And you can literally sell out of your store from any location because, again, using either mobile or Wi-Fi, it connects to your store in real time enables you to process invoices. And it has a little card reader on top. So you can use the credit card as well. You can look up accounts if you have accounts in your system. Charge account customers, you can recall those as well. All of this is readily available and easy to access at any time. So those are some of the mobile apps. We also have a delivery app as well that enables you to, it actually connects to the delivery scheduler in Paladin, which at checkout, if you want to say, hey, we're going to deliver this, it asks you to fill out the information. Where's the address? You know, what, any other information, what's the resource or the truck that'll be driving it? What do we need to book out? What time slot do we need? And these types of things, just a couple of very easy questions to answer. And then it schedules it for delivery. And then when the driver's ready to go, you just hand the tablet to the driver. Driver grabs the tablet and they look on it. There's a list of all the places they need to go. And based on that, they just press a button. The GPS will take them directly to the location where they're going to deliver those items to. And once they get there, they can dump their load right there, take a photograph of it, get a signature. If the owner comes out or the contractor or foreman or what have you comes out and says, oh no, we changed our mind. We don't need that much or that many. The driver can just scale it back on quantity on that device. And when they hit the go or the done button, it sends all that information over to the Paladin system in the store. So the store can actually go through the scheduler and see exactly where their driver is at any given moment. And that signature, the photograph, all the information as well as a credit is right there in the Paladin system. And it's easily accessible anytime in the future. So mobile products, they're awesome. They're great. We have different features for different functions, and we can do all of that. So take control of your business. Well, you know, we're talking here about how do we help you control your business? Well, we're doing a couple of things for you. Number one, managing your inventory for you. Number two, managing your financials or your, in this case, accounts receivables. And we can manage your deliveries, back office, and we also integrate with your general ledger package. If you're using QuickBooks or Sage or Peachtree or Dynamics GP or any of those, we integrate with those so that the information just flows up to them, and all the detailed information is in Paladin, but all the required information for your financial system is sent over there. So it's really about using and leveraging technology to make your store run more efficiently, to help you be more effective at what you do. And the biggest feature or benefit is that you're providing tools to your clients, to your customers, that make them feel like they're connected to your store. We also have loyalty rewards programs as well that you can tap into, which now your customers can be a card-carrying customer. And that way, if you know, they feel more connected, they're maybe willing to drive a little bit further, spend a little bit more money on products, and maybe put up with a bad day, you know, when a cashier is having a bad day, because they know they're getting a piece back. Very effective way to help get more customers in your store, right? Other ways is we have custom pricing plans, custom sales. You can have different sales that are specific to specific people. You can do trade discounts. These are the types of things that you need to do in order to appeal to more of a broader customer base. There's nothing better than to come into a store and ask the cashier, you know, I came in 6 months ago, I bought this little widget, you know, it's about this big, I don't know what it's called. Can you look it up? And within seconds, they can go and look that information up and even sell them another one from that same screen, or credit it if they want to do a credit on that item. It's just all sorts of things that you can do to recall the receipts. All the reports that you need, inventory valuation summary report. Wouldn't it be cool at the end of the year, instead of hiring all your family and friends and all your workers to come in, providing pizza and Coke and Pepsi and everything, and counting your store for the next 24 hours, you know, all through the nighttime hours, and then in the morning you have some sort of idea what your inventory is? I recommend against doing that. In Paladin and in most inventory control systems, This is something that you do gradually. Every day, you just make it habitual to where you take a few minutes of the day, 10, 15 minutes, and you count a small forfeits section. Next day, count the next section. And just make that a habit to where you're just going down the aisles every day and picking up where you left off yesterday. And you're using a gun that we provide. It's called an RF gun, stands for radio frequency. So it doesn't use Wi-Fi or risk you of coming out of compliance, with PCI or anything like that. And they can go ahead and they can count their section. At the time that they count, they can also assign location codes to it. So there's a number of benefits that you have to counting your inventory on a regular basis, because some of the municipalities require that you provide quarterly estimates of what your inventory is. If you use this form of inventory control, where you're counting your store on a regular basis, and you're selling items, and you're receiving invoices from your suppliers, that's all you have to do, and everything else is automated for you. You come in any day, anytime, you press a button that says, show me what I have for inventory today. What do I have in stock today? A lot of people make guesstimates all the time. I can't tell you how many stores I ask, what's your inventory valuation about right now? They kind of think for a minute. They go, I think the last time we counted, we sold a little bit since then. It's like 240 grand. It's like, really? So it could be 100 or 500, and you wouldn't know. And that's reality, guys. So having a really good inventory control system is everything in managing a retail store. Okay, let's move on. So support is very important to us. I can tell you one thing about Paladin is we are not owned by investors. We are not an investor-run company. We are a privately owned company by Dan Nesmith and his wife, Judy. He started in this business 40 years ago, believe it or not. Yeah, he's an old guy like me. He worked for his dad in a hardware, lumber, and building material store on the coast of Oregon. And his dad was complaining about all the extra work and spending 14 to 16 hours a day. And Dan was a techie guy, and he said, I'll program you a system that's going to help with that. And he did. And soon after that, other hardware stores and lumber and building materials in that vicinity heard about it. They wanted to buy it. The rest is history. Back in 2005, he converted everything from DOS, of course, because that was end of life, to the platform it's on today, which is Microsoft. All right, so his purpose was to help his dad as an independent retailer. Our purpose today hasn't changed at all. We are here to provide a solution to independent retailers to help them thrive in this highly competitive landscape today. You've got big stores taking your business. You've got internet taking your business. The A word, Amazon, taking your business. And Amazon may be one of your suppliers. That's great. We can do that as well. But it's important to know that you really need to use the technology to get the most out of your system. So getting back to support, so our purpose, as I just mentioned, was to help independent retailers thrive. It's very, very key because that's what we do. Every day we wake up and we're just really happy to make you successful. And when we make you successful, our job is done. And that's really important. So how do we measure this success? Because measuring success is important. And we have what's called an NPS score, or Net Promoter Score. Every 2 months, we send one little questionnaire to our customers that says, how do you like us now? And they answer from 0 to 10. So how they answer helps guide how we do support. Because if we get somewhere under 7 or 6 or 5 or 4 or 3 or 2 or 1, that's great. It's not great. It's not a great number, but it's great for us because now I have an opportunity to figure out where our weak points are. How do we improve? You can't improve your customer support if you don't know where you're failing. So this is a tremendous asset to the company to understand and know where our customers are and how they feel about us. And I can tell you right now, our average score in the last almost 3 years is just under 9. That's unheard of. But the cool thing is we've got monitors all over this building. If you came to Bend, Oregon, and you came into our facility, you'll see big 40-inch monitors everywhere in the company. Yeah, they're about 40 inches, but there's not important. There's a ton of them. And every single one of them has on there how we're performing as a company with our customers. And when there's a low score to me is anything 6 or under. And I make it a personal call directly to the owner of the store if we see one of those numbers, so I can help affect change and I can help accommodate their needs better, because, you know, we're not perfect. Nobody's perfect, but it's how you respond and reply and react to those situations that make you a better support company. And the fact that we are incentivized by these numbers that are on the board, and when we see a 6 or a 5 or a 4, it puts a huge red bar up there. And we've got the company kind of broken up into different, we call them squads. We're very aviation related here. You can see on that squad how they're performing. And this is just paramount for us to get this information and feedback from our customers and be able to service them better. I don't know of any other company that does this. I do know that Delta, Marriott, you know, Best Buy, and those companies use this same form of measuring how they're doing with their customers. And I also know that they strive to hit 6. They don't, but they strive to hit that. And when we're at just slightly under 9 for our average, it's amazing. So sorry for tooting my horn so long about service, but me being the, you know, the chief experience officer, it's my duty, it's my job to make sure that our customers and prospects have a good experience with Paladin. So slightly passionate about that. So here we go on to point of rental integration. Let's talk about the meat and potatoes here. So we've got integration with point of rental. What's that mean? So point of rental, we have integration with the cloud-based solution. It lets you easily track and maintain your rental inventory while providing a great customer rental experience. Very key, right? You use this, you're used to it, you understand it, and that's great. When it comes to time to collect payment, all the customer needs to do is bring up their contract from the rental department or counter, and they walk right up to the cashier. Cashier picks up a Paladin scanner, scans the item, and it automatically transacts that payment at point of sale seamlessly. All the information, all the taxes, all the accounting information is done right there at checkout. So it's all under one system. However, there's more. It then sends a message back to point of rental saying, this is done. It's been paid for. They're completed. They're off the hook. Everybody's happy. We currently have an integration with Essentials. We are working on and plan to go with the Expert and Elite product lines in the future. So that's where we're at today. So if you currently have and are working with the Essentials product using the cloud-based solution, by all means, if this interests you, if it's something that you want to investigate a little bit further, give us a call. All right, so let's talk about how this seamless thing works. So we scan a rental contract, which is a barcode in Paladin, creates the invoice with the amount due. Paladin computes the taxes at that time, processes the payment, and then again, the received rental contracts are automatically closed on the point of rental system. So this is where the bi-directional integration is happening. Again, you don't want to have to think. You don't want your client, your customers, your clients, or your employees to get and feel any pain when it comes to checkout. You want it to be an easy, seamless function, and it is with these two solutions. Going on to the next screen here. So create customers and associate additional rentals. So this is pretty cool. When you scan something when you scan a contract in Paladin, it actually brings the customer data into Paladin. And then it associates that rental with that customer. And if the customer then comes in after that to buy other products or rent other things, they're already going to be in your system. They're right there. Everything is tracked. And this is really key, because if you can track and know your customers then you can give them better services. I can tell you, I went back to Costco one time after I bought a compressor that kept blowing fuses. It had been a while since I bought it, but to change the fuse, it wasn't like you just open a little door and pop a fuse out, right? This was get out your tools, undo everything, take the board out, replace the fuse, and put it all back together. I was livid. And after doing this about a half a dozen times, I said, that's it, I'm taking this thing back. So I went back to Costco and I said, hey, you know me, I'm a card carrying customer. I bought this system, or I bought this particular unit, and it's not working. And they looked it up. Within seconds, they told me, oh, yeah, Mr. Owen, you bought that 5 years ago. I was like, oh, well, can you return it? He's like, sir, we have 12 months, that's it. And I had a retail business at the time. I was buying a ton from Costco. I said, well, you want to check with your manager on that? Check with the manager. Manager comes back and says, Mr. Owen, we'll take it back and buy anything you want. So it was a very cool experience. And that's the type of experience that you need. But you can only do that when you associate the purchase with an individual, an actual person. And you can do this automatically through point of rental when you, because you have that information in the point of rental, because you have to collect that stuff, right? You need the name, the address, their phone number. Otherwise, you're not renting them a $30,000 tractor on their good word. So that information can just flow right back into Paladin. So extremely advantageous. And I should mention also the loyalty rewards program that we have integrated into Paladin. We also integrate with half a dozen other loyalty rewards programs. That is another way that you can get people signed up in your system. And by the way, in Paladin, you just scan the back of their driver's license, sucks them straight into the system. They don't have to lift a finger. It's one of those things where when you ask them at checkout, how many times have you heard this at checkout? Would you like to sign up for our rewards program? And what's your immediate reaction? Ain't nobody got time for that. No, let me get out of here. I just want my stuff and go. It's like, well, I need to see your driver's license anyway to compare with the, credit card. And by the way, when I scan this, it'll automatically give you a $10 coupon. How about that? It's just a great way to get people signed up in your system to do the sorts of things and have you can really have marketing and direct that at specific customers and send them postcards and things. So if they're freaking buyers of, AA batteries and you've got a half a dozen customers, you can send them a little postcard that says, hey, secret sale, come in and just for you for this weekend, we'll give 50% off AA batteries. So the guy in front of you with AA batteries doesn't get a discount. The guy behind you doesn't get a discount, but you are a targeted customer that has a pass for 50% batteries, and it just automatically happens. The cashier would I'm sure they would look at that and go, wow, that's 50% discount. Good for you, Mr. and Mrs. Customer. And it's a great solution. All right, so let's move on. How much does this thing cost? So there is a one-time setup fee of $249. Won't break the bank, but it's just your commitment, our commitment, making sure that we get you set up. There are some things that we have to do. We do have a full-on support team to help you do this. We also work with Point of Rental to get this accomplished. Monthly subscription then from that point on is only $29 a month. I mean, that's just a few cents a day. I mean, it's very affordable. Of course, the Point of Rental, that you'll have to negotiate with the Point of Rental, and it is purchased separately, but these are all the costs that we have in the system. So I estimated that we would take about a half hour. It's been a half hour, but obviously we're open for questions. I'm going to just show you this one slide here. Shows a family of folks, one of our beloved customers here at Dinuba Lumber. They said, we love Paladin, we love Point of Rental. We made the right choices to select these companies or those companies and the software that goes with them. They've both been very good to us. So good going, Dinuba Lumber. Yay, thank you, Brooks. Good stuff. We really have a great relationship with Point of Rental. It is something that has been growing over time, and we're excited about our relationship. We're excited about the integration, and we're excited to take this even to more products with Point of Rental. And again, Paladin's message is all about putting the data to work, making sure you have the tools, the infrastructure, the technology that's going to make your store more successful, earn you more money, more profit, make you more efficient, make your customers and your employees happy, and that's it.
Well, Charles, thank you so much for walking us through that. All right, let's take some of these questions that have come in. All right, you ready for some?
I'm ready. Hit me.
Let's do it. All right, so I think this is asking about the dynamic inventory. It says, generally, how long does it take to analyze your inventory so that the algorithm can dynamically know?
That is a great question, and I'm so happy that you were paying attention. So how it works is the algorithm changes over time. So it depends on how much information it has to make a decision, right? I wouldn't you know, call it artificial intelligence, but it's a numbers game, right? And numbers don't lie. And when you start using Paladin day one, if we happen to integrate your old information or data from your other system, and you had stock on hand in there from day one, you can start running what we call a suggested order report day one. Now, what happens is, what it does basically is it takes the information it has and it makes an educated guess. Now, if there's no information, no history, but yet you've got a week's worth, it's going to look back in that week and go, sold 3 last week, yeah, probably going to sell 3 this week. And it'll use what's called the historical data or replenishment algorithm until it starts getting enough information where you have these peaks and valleys of prior sales. We actually show you these bar charts for every item, whether you want to see them or not. And it just kind of formulates from there. The more information it has to glean from, the better and more accurate those levels and suggested amounts are going to be. So your algorithms get tighter and tighter and tighter as time goes on, and the optimal is 365 days of history, because that's how far we go back. Because 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, it doesn't matter. You know, that data is not effective for you. What's effective is the last 365 days. And it's kind of a moving target, right? So we look at these ebb and flow of your product sales, and then we take that information, how many you have on hand, how many you have on order, you know, what your gross margin return on investment is, what your minimum order amount is. We take all of this and again, we formulate what you're going to need. Now, let's use a scenario where we get your data and there's no numbers in stock on hand. They're like -1,000. Totally fine. We can do a lot of data cleansing on the Paladin side when we import data in from your prior system. And what we can do is we can turn that to a 0, if you will. And it's okay to sell in the negatives. That's fine. But what you do then at this point is you just put a plan in place. And you say, okay, today, day one, go live, we're going to count 1 4-foot section. So you take the gun, you go over there, you tell it what location you're in, so it'll assign it automatically, because you don't necessarily know what the location is until you're walking the store. So you put in a location, you start scanning. I got 3, I got 5, I got 10. Put in the gun. It in real time puts it in the system. And tomorrow morning, now, because your inventory is accurate, you can put that location code in and run suggested order for that location. Day 2, you count the next 4-foot section. Now, the next day, you put the order, suggest order in, and you span that series from it started in this location, ended in this location. Now you can run the report for those 2 locations, and so on and so forth until you've gone down aisle 1, come up aisle 2, gone down aisle 3, and so forth. And you just kind of meander through your store over the next several weeks or months. And it doesn't matter if you're a 2,000 square foot store or a 20,000 square foot store, you got to count your inventory. Excuse me. So this will enable you to grow with the system and the system grow with you. In the meantime, in the interim, let's say, you know, well, what do I do with my other stuff? Do I have to walk my aisles still? Do I need the gun? Do I need a tablet with a pen and write down what I need and then go back over to my shopping cart for my supplier and add those things in? No, everything can go through Paladin. And you don't have to walk down the aisles with a tablet and a pencil. You can use our RF gun to make orders and build purchase orders. And in real time, it builds it in the system. And you just fire off the PO. If it's EDI, it goes right to the supplier through a FTP or file transport protocol electronically. If it's not, it gets emailed directly to the salesperson for that supplier. They put in your order. You got a hard copy of it. When you receive your invoice electronically, just press a button. It receives it, adjusts your inventory, manages your margins. And on the manual PO side, you just get your invoice compared to your original PO. And once you sync those up, you just say accept and process. And again, sets all your inventory correct on stock on hand. Make sure your costs are right, which manages your margins. And it's a beautiful world. We also have another report that you can run. That's just a replenishment report. It's a good starting point. Well, last week I sold 3 of those. I sold 10 of these, and I sold 4 of those. Well, let's just build a PO from that. So you can literally a push of a button say, give me a PO of what I sold last week. And boom, you've got it. You're replenished. Now you can augment that, add other stuff to it, and send your order in, and at least you're replenishing what you sold last week. So multiple ways to order. EDI, suggested order processing, is the holy grail of inventory control in Paladin. So hopefully that answered your question, and that was a very good question. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. We got a question from Jennifer. Is there a way to track coupon? I don't know why I said coupon redemption with Paladin. Right now, we don't have a way to keep customers from redeeming a coupon twice.
Yes, very good question. And it has been called coupon and coupon.
Thanks for the grace, Charles.
I like coupon.
Coupon.
But yes, we do handle coupons. We also handle one-time use coupons as well. They actually, that feature for that particular one-time use coupon, I believe comes with our loyalty rewards program, because you have to know who the customer is, right, for a one-time, right? If they come into your store and they just scan it and you don't know who that entity is, they can come in and scan it anytime unless you confiscate it and tear it up and throw it in the garbage, which is also possible. That's another way to do it. We do provide coupons where you can actually put an item in the inventory and put a $5 discount. And then they just, you advertise it in your local newspaper. They bring in the clip, scan it at checkout, it gives them a $5 credit. That's also possible. What we encourage you to do, however, and this is very effective for returns as well, because what's your ultimate goal as a retailer? You know, somebody comes in your store, what's your goal? Your goal is get them back in your store. Get them back in next week, the week after that. So what I recommend are gift cards. Gift cards are a huge advantage because you want to be like the big stores. You know, you go to Home Depot, there's a whole wall of gift cards, and you can pull one from any store brand. Well, you can sell one specifically for your store brand, and you can brand the cards. And guess what? You can also use that card to put credits or returns onto that card. So somebody doesn't bring in their receipt and you want to get them back in the store. You don't want to like give them their cash and send them off their way. You say, we have a policy, if you don't have your receipt, that we're going to give you a store credit. And then you just swipe the card, put that credit on there, hand it to them. Now, the only way to redeem that amount is to come back in your store and make more purchases. So that's a great thing. You can also I'm just going to say reconstitute, but you can reload these cards with more money. And your customers actually have access to that as well. So they can log into a website, see how much is on the card. And then if they want, they can preload it right there on the website, on the portal for the gift cards. And then they can re-gift that. They can say, well, let's put 20 more on this, and I'm going to give it to, you know, my neighbor because he was so good to feed my dog for a week while I was out of town.
Let's see. What other questions do we have? How difficult is it to integrate QuickBooks with Paladin?
It's not difficult. It's actually embedded in the software. So we integrate, and I kind of went over this very quickly in the presentation, but some of the financial institutions, or not institutions necessarily, but financial products and software solutions, that we integrate with. QuickBooks is one of those. Both the cloud version, which is called QuickBooks Online, we also integrate with the enterprise version or the on-premise version of QuickBooks as well. So either one of these scenario works. And here's how we integrate. At the end of the day, all the numbers flow up, right? So all the posts are made to their appropriate account and chart of accounts, and the numbers just fall in there, right? However, we have another integration on the purchase order side. So when you make a PO in Paladin, and then you accept that PO, process that PO, it immediately sends that over as a payable invoice to your QuickBooks solution. So that's just another step of integrating more with the financial package. So yes, we do accommodate QuickBooks. All done. There's a small fee.
Okay. And that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Let's see. I think it's time for one more. Are there any future integrations that Paladin is working on outside of Expert and Elite that you spoke of that you're able to share with us today? Like something on the roadmap, maybe?
I imagine this is point of rental related.
Oh, I just meant in general that you're able to share. If not, that's totally fine. I can say no to that question.
All the time.
All the time?
Like I said, we have 100 right now or more that we integrate to. We have customer requests all the time. In some cases, if it makes sense, we'll go ahead and write the integration on us. Sometimes if it's a one-off integration, when they say, you know what, I've used this package for 20 years, it runs on, DOS or whatever, can you integrate with that? Sometimes we do that, but that would require a fee for us to put forth the programming efforts to get that accomplished. But we're all about integrations. That, as I mentioned early on, that's our value added, right? Our value is that, number one, we have a great solution. It does great inventory control, statements, loyalty rewards programs, checkout, all the stuff that you need. But there's other stuff, and that is we can tap into all these other areas that you need to run your operations, and it becomes a seamless system. It's the best of breed, as I mentioned before. Best of breed is extremely important, in my opinion. I can't tell you how many businesses out there, including ours initially, where everything was disparate systems. Nothing was tied together. And we can either do one of two things: rip everything out and bring in an ERP system and spend $20 million on designing a very custom integrated solution, or you can just start connecting up all these disparate systems so that it looks like it's all in unity, but in fact, it's different systems with different databases and things. There's a lot of advantages to it. One is usability. Two is expense. And three is just you have the best of the two worlds.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think you're spot on with that. It's the best way forward. Well, that's all of our questions. Oh, wait, we have one more asking if this is going to be integrated with Expert. Yes, it is. It is currently integrated with Essentials. We're working on Expert as well as Elite coming up.
Yeah, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I really appreciate it, whether it's 2 of you or 2,000 of you. I really appreciate your time. I know you're busy. It's crazy insanity out there in this world, but God bless you. Thank you for everything. And if you need to talk to us, absolutely get a hold of Point of Rental, or you can call Paladin direct at 1-800-PALADIN.
And Charles, if anybody was going to reach out to you directly, would LinkedIn be the best way to do that, or is there another avenue that you prefer?
Oh, to me directly? I am so not into all the social media stuff. I do have a LinkedIn account, but I check it about once every 60 days. I apologize. I know I'm not up with the times, but I'm 63, guys. Come on.
You are? I don't see it, man.
It's right here. It's the
next webinar, we're going to talk about Charles' skincare routine, because the dude looks like way younger, in my opinion.
Yeah, wait till I get
pushing late 40s. Wait till what?
Wait till I get Botox next week.
There you go.
My wife threatened to leave me unless I got Botox. I'm obviously kidding, but hey, whatever it takes.
Right on. So And you said, but to contact the sales department, 1-800-PALADIN is the best way to get in contact?
Yes, but there should be a link that actually goes to Point of Rental that enables you to get everything. You'll just fill out a form and then we'll contact you. But yes, 1-800-PALADIN is a real number. And my name is Charles, and there's only one Charles here at Paladin. But I guess just because it's not a very popular name, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, we'd love to chat. You know, we're no pressure. We want to make sure that we're a good fit for you before we unleash the system onto you, because just like, you know, most software vendors, we invest our time and money, you invest your time and money. We want to make sure it's a good relationship and it's a good fit before we both jump into this.
Absolutely. Oh, and I just had a message from our marketing team. So for more information, you can also go to our sponsorship page, and that'll have everything on Paladin, and it's going to connect you with Charles and Charles's team.
I know, and I'm probably going to hear it from marketing when they say, "Why'd you give our 800 Paladin number? We have to know where they're coming from." Like, yeah, I get it.
Well, there's many different avenues to get a hold of Charles and the Paladin team. So, well, Charles, thank you so much for your time. I'm even seeing in the chat too, Trevor Sedgwick said this was very informative, among others as well. So thank you so much. I know you have a lot going on as well. And thank you all for watching.
Yeah, and we can give you a demo of the product too if you're interested. So that's out there as well.
All right. Thanks, Charles.
You guys, thank you.
And thank you for watching.